relationship ends, you know you need to move on, but the dating scene can be awful. Well, you're about to meet a woman thrust back into it tragically after a 24-year marriage. She had to learn how to date as an older, more experienced woman. And now she's talking about it all, and we do mean all, in a podcast that she hosts with her son. And the chat can get a little bawdy. Watch.
Welcome to Sex Talk with my mom. I'm Cam Potter.
And I'm KarenLee Potter.
For mother-son duo KarenLee and Cam Potter, no topic seems to be off limits.
Test. Testosterone.
The two started a podcast 3 years ago called Sex Talk with My Mom, a no-holds-barred conversation that covers everything from dating to sex.
I was so excited I thought maybe you would just, do a quickie.
No.
The two were always close, but tragedy strengthened their family's bond.
I was a typical mother of three. It was basically 2 dogs, a cat, white picket fence type of life that I was leading. We were married for 24 years. He went to work one day and an employee stabbed him to death. That obviously turned our entire world upside down, but I am a very optimistic, positive person, and I don't stay down very long. And I grabbed my kids and I put them in the room and I said, listen, we are still a family. We're going on.
After some time, KarenLee started to date again.
I was shocked at the amount of younger guys that were attracted to me. I mean, just like, and had the courage and the nerve to walk up and approach me.
She noticed a void of information for women her age re-entering the dating world, so she started a YouTube channel.
Today I thought I'd tell you the 10 things that cougars should never do.
And wrote a book redefining what it means to be a cougar.
I wanted to destigmatize the idea. So the acronym cougar, in my opinion, stands for a confident, older, unique, genuine, assertive, and a racy woman.
For Cam, a budding comedian, KarenLee's book was gold.
This is the play-by-play as to how to strip once the mood is set.
If there's any purpose for this uncomfortable material to be in the world, it might as well be in my comedy act.
The two made a video for KarenLee's channel.
Has sex life going well?
No!
Their banter was well received, so they tried a podcast.
Here's the thing, though.
Oh, that's always a thing.
And the rest is history.
Love y'all.
Don't do that to them. You have to kiss them. Who are you kissing?
Please help me welcome KarenLee Potter and her son, Cam. So great to have you here. You are bold, and I love that. So you decided to get back out in the dating world, and I read that when you looked online, you saw all these tips on how to be a peacock. What?
Because what I said, what? It's a pickup artist thing. Negging, peacocking, this is what's out there on YouTube. And then the other ones are like young wing girls that are in their 20s. And I'm like, you know what? There's got to be someone my age to, I can relate to. And I couldn't find anybody. So I said, well, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
I'll create videos for women trying to reinvent themselves after a death or a divorce. Well, I got about 80 views on that video. But as soon as I put the 10 things cougars should never do, then I had 5 million views.
Now it's starting to catch on.
Yeah.
Right. So I love the embracing of the term cougar.
Thank you.
Which is like, it doesn't have to be this derogatory thing.
Right.
Is it scary at all to date a younger guy? Because like I'd be worried that they're used to like these young 24-year-old, gals, and let's face it, after you have a few kids and you age a little bit, yeah, gravity has an effect. I'm there right now.
No, let me tell you. Younger men love older women. It's unbelievable. They don't care about that. Darkness is our friend. But the truth is, it turned into like my channel has 45,000 subscribers and they're 99% men.
Really?
Younger men, 18 to 35.
Why? What are they tuning in for?
They love the advice that an older woman gives. They're attracted to the confidence of an older woman, how older women are so independent and willing to teach.
Yeah, right.
And that's what they want to know.
But how did you get the confidence to get to the point where you're teaching younger men about sex when, you've been married to the same guy your whole life? You got married at 23, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And you were married to your husband that whole time.
24 years.
Not that experienced, I assume, right? So
I just thought, well, I'm just going to be myself and every guy that I was with just said, I wish that girls my age were like you.
Wow. So you, meantime, Cam, were like in your young 20s, right? When your mom starts experimenting like this and sort of finding her new self.
Yeah.
And like a lot of guys in today's day and age, going on the internet to figure out how to do things with the girlfriend and so on, and stumbled upon a video of what?
Of my mom. Yeah, I was looking for my own tips, and her video came up, and I was like, "This is not who I want to be learning from right now."
Why not? Who's better than your mother, right?
Anyone else?
At all.
Yeah.
Right. So they'd always been close, and they started talking, and that's how they wound up ultimately with a sex podcast that they co-host. How awkward does it get? That's where we'll pick it up when we come back. And we're back now with KarenLee Potter and her son Cam. They host a podcast together that's called Sex Talk with My Mom, which there's not another one like that, so you don't know. Yeah, that's got to be uniquely yours. So had you always been very open, about the whole sex discussion?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was always able to come to her, talk about relationships. And then after my dad died, obviously we had to come even closer together. But I think the podcast really brought us to a whole new level.
Right, because there is no place to which you will not go.
That is true. We're trying to break down the barriers. That's the whole idea of this. We want to break down the barriers of what parents and kids can talk about. And I think it's going to help in general, just for people to be able to speak openly about sex, because it's so, taboo to talk about it. And it shouldn't be.
Well, and the main reason we don't talk about sex with our parents is because you just don't want that image. It's like, my eyes, right? Like, how did you get past that?
No, I'm still there. It's uncomfortable, and it's important to get uncomfortable sometimes. And so I think it's great. It makes me less concerned about talking to any other person about sex. If I can talk about it with my mom, I can pretty much talk about it with anyone.
You talk about it on national television.
I could talk about it right now. What do you guys want to know?
Is it true you brought on and bring on girlfriends?
Well, that's the best part.
and debrief them about how the experience was with you?
We have done that.
And it's sometimes complete opposite of what he thinks happened,
Like how? What do you mean?
Oh, you explain it.
Well, yeah, I mean, usually you don't get an in-depth discussion about a sexual encounter you have.
Right.
Especially not with your mom sitting beside you.
Yeah, well, most of us don't want that. We just want to assume we were amazing and we want to move on.
Right. So, but why not go there? So I would bring on people that I've hooked up with. We'd talk about our experiences, and sometimes they were very different.
Would they say that was bad? No, I hated that part.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you think you're being romantic, and it turns out that it's not romantic.
Like when he brings
weird.
a group on, and he brought a group onto a date one time.
Oh,
I mean,
is this a roast?
Like
I've used a Groupon on a date. There doesn't need to be a groan here.
So what's the most awkward thing that's ever happened while doing the podcast?
We had on
The phone sex operator?
a phone sex operator who demonstrated a call to the two of us.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And that's a very uncomfortable experience.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But the point of the podcast is to also offer tips to people who aren't as open as you are.
Yes.
But would like information.
Yes.
Right? So you get mostly guys, but do you get cougars? Do you get women who are like, yes, need to know?
We get everyone. We've interviewed porn stars. They've given us the best tips. They know everything.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
This is available for download where?
No, it's
Sextalkwithmymom.com.
That's your website.
Yeah.
Right? So anybody can go and now you're the middle child.
Yes.
You got two other children.
Yes, I have a daughter that's older than him and a son that's younger.
And how do they feel about this?
I think they're pretty supportive.
Yeah, they've gotten on board. They've come on the podcast, actually.
Yes.
Has any woman ever refused to date you because she knows that this could get talked about the very next day?
It's come up. They have often said, oh, this is going to be on your show. And so we kind of have to juggle that.
We're very sensitive, though.
Negotiate that.
Sometimes we have to just take it completely down if,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So now, are you in a relationship now?
Yes, I've been in a relationship for 10.5 years.
For 10.5 years?
Yeah.
And
younger guy, in case you guys are wondering.
we were wondering. And what do you think of that? How much younger?
significantly younger.
Okay, and so do you care? Is it a thing?
No, age is not a thing. And that's what the wonderful thing about getting back out there again is, you know, don't have a type. Don't worry about what people think about you. Don't listen to anything your mother says, except in my case.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is it's all about the connection. And that's why I have a very young spirit. And I think that it's a good thing for us.
Wow, I love your relationship. I love how close the two of you are, and it's sort of given me another framework to think about talking to my own kids about.
Anytime you need the advice, you give us a call.
Or I'll just send them the website when they get age appropriate.
Yes, text mom.
Thank you both.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
And don't forget, their podcast is called Sex Talk with My Mom. We'll be right back.